The big banks, with all their bailouts, don't seem to grasp how tough it is for hardworking Americans.
Student debt outstanding now at $956 billion.
Middle-class jobs are not coming back.
Americans have stopped expecting members of Congress to make their lives better. At this point, they just hope Congress stops making them worse.
Government does work. It works really well for those who can hire armies of lobbyists. It works really well for those who have armies of lawyers. It works really well for those who can make big campaign contributions. It's just not working for American families.
In a time of great cynicism, when many people say Washington is broken, nobody can ever get anything done, big money owns the whole place, change is possible. We can whimper about it, we can whine about it, or we can fight back. I'm with the people who want to fight back. Like a lot of you, I grew up in a family on the ragged edges of the middle class.
Warren was born into one of those families herself in small-town Oklahoma in 1949. Her father was a janitor. Warren's world and worldview changed when she was 12. Her father had a heart attack.
We lost the family station wagon, and we came right to the edge of losing our home. My mother saved our home with a minimum wage job. But in the 1960s, a minimum wage job would support a family of 3 above the poverty line.
By 1978, she was 29 and divorced with 2 kids. She also had a law degree from Rutgers. Her specialty was bankruptcy law and its impact on struggling families.
She created the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, giving the middle class a fighting chance against these big banks.
I'm fighting to level that playing field. I'm fighting to build real opportunity, fighting to give every child a chance to build something extraordinary. And I want you to fight along beside me. We are in this together.
The woman on the front lines of that battle, clearly not worried about who she's upsetting.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren has a bold claim that Wall Street bankers have made a disproportionate share of the money because the system is still rigged.
We believe that Wall Street needs stronger rules and tougher enforcement, and we're willing to fight for it. We believe that no one should work full-time and live in poverty, and that means raising the minimum wage, and we're willing to fight for it. We believe that people should retire with dignity, and that means strengthening Social Security, and we're willing to fight for it. We believe that a kid should have a chance to go to college without being crushed by debt, and we're willing to fight for it. We are called to restore opportunity for every American. We are called to give America's working families a fighting chance, to build something solid so the next generation can build something better. Let me ask you, America, are you ready to answer this call?
This may be Elizabeth Warren's moment.
Are you going to run for president?
I grew up in an America that invested in its kids and built a strong middle class that allowed millions of children to rise from poverty and establish secure lives.
We are kicking off our Iowa campaign in Des Moines Tuesday night at 5:30 at a venue that Joanna is going to define for us.
So you guys should make sure everyone signs in, make sure the clipboards are looking good, the pens.
An America in which each generation built something solid so that the next generation could build something better.
The reason we're here is because this is the moment. This is Elizabeth Warren's moment.
Where everyone who works hard, who plays by the rules, should have a real chance to get ahead. Are you ready?
Main Street, she says, is under siege by Wall Street.
The liberal group MoveOn.org likes Elizabeth Warren and says they'll try to draft her.
This is a moment in history when we meet elected officials who have courage.
No one's going to talk about income inequality the way that Elizabeth Warren can do that.
To make calls, to talk to your friends and neighbors and volunteer for this effort any way you can.
A lot of folks are feeling really discouraged. And part of that is because government is not working for them.
Elizabeth is the only one that stood up to Goldman Sachs.
We were sent here to fight for those families. And it is time, it is past time for Washington to start working for them. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield.
Hi everybody, it's Mark Ruffalo, and I really wanted to be there, and instead I'm here holding my iPhone, showing up in the only way that I can. I'm actually shooting a movie in London, so I'm not there with you, but I'm there in spirit, and I'm happy to be a part of this event in the electric way that I can be. We're all here for the same reason. We're here to talk about Elizabeth Warren, and I really think it's important that we look at her for what she is. She's someone who is not beholden to the banking system for her political career, first and foremost, which gives her an enormous amount of independence. She's someone that gets the progressive values that I believe we all share. She knows that that income inequality is racial inequality. She knows that that family values come from people who value families. She knows that the climate change is real, that it's man-made, and that it has to be acted upon immediately before we've gone too far. She believes in renewable energy. She is not afraid to take on the forces that want to keep things the way they are today. She understands that the status quo is deadly for America and for our people as a whole. She sees the continuing and greater income inequality, the growing gap between the poor and the rich, with the middle class being shoved down deeper and deeper every year into poverty. That is a systematic problem. You need somebody who is not of the system and able to change the system on the scale that it needs to be changed. And Elizabeth Warren is that person. And if she primaries and doesn't win the primary, she will at least push the conversation more towards the progressive values that we all share. And so, I know it may seem a radical idea for some of you. It might be even a little scary to have somebody sort of as powerful and independent as Elizabeth is. We don't know that she's going to run, so we're sort of taking a leap of faith, but that's the only way to really implement the changes that need to be changed in the world today. And we have to be bold. We can't really always come from a place of fear, otherwise nothing will change, or half measures. I think it's a really exciting time, and I think she's a particularly exciting candidate. I'm asking that you join me and a lot of other folks so far in getting on board with asking Elizabeth Warren to run in a serious way. So I'm sorry for this low rent form of communication. Just think of the carbon that we're saving by me not being there. And I hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks. Bye.